What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of American Horror Stories. I believe this is the season finale. I do know that it was renewed for season 2. Hopefully season 2 is a little bit better than this season 1, because season 1, I guess, it was really something to hold us over during until the new season of the original comes back on, which comes back on next week, the 25th, which I believe, girl, what day is that? Is that a Wednesday? Wednesday, okay. Which works perfectly fine because all my Wednesday shows are gone. Oh, girl, now I got something to... Yes, okay. Listen, okay, I'm cool with that. But anyway, this is American Horror Story Season 1, Episode 7, Game Over. Let's just get into it because, truth be told, it was cute, but it really wasn't much. I don't even know how long this review is going to take. So we got this... I don't even remember the girl's name, but we got... this couple. I just know that the couple that get out the car, the girl that plays her, I think that's Miley Cyrus' sister, Noah Cyrus or whatever, but she gets out the car with this blonde haired boy or whatever, they boyfriend, girlfriend. They met at this horror fan convention or whatever, and so they're big American Horror Story fans, okay? And they're pulling up in front of Murder House. We get introduced to Murder House again, and this time they're making it seem like, they're super fans of the show. And so they want to go over there and they like to do go to the haunted places or whatever. So this was one of the stops on their list, especially the fact that they're super fans of the show. So they go up in there, mind you, the black taxi driver, and I just have to tell y'all that the Lyft driver, whatever you want to call him, baby, he was like, listen, you sure y'all want to come up in here? Listen, it's a whole bunch of stuff that come up in there. I'm telling you now, it's some trouble. You need to leave that place alone, okay? Of course, they're not hearing it. They go in there. The girl is like, I want to feel the energy. And so she goes into a little daze and like she's meditating and trying to get the feel of the place with her eyes closed. And next thing you know, rubber man come in front of her, and she just like that, okay, jumps. And so they go into the kitchen and you see these dark rose petals all around the floors, on the counter. And it's like a scavenger hunt, telling them to go to the bedroom, go find this, go find that. And of course, they're so turned on by all of this. They get into the bedroom and oh boy put on the sweater that looked like Tate's, okay, from Murder House. And, we see that little ball roll through, I think at one particular point too. And so, of course, they're turned on and they have sex, or what was something like sex, because old boy pumped like 2.5 times and was over and done with. I said, am I tripping? Girl, when they was finna get up and go explore, girl said, whew, maybe I find a ghost that can do more than 2 pumps. I said, hopefully, because you deserve better. You deserve better than that. I said, is he gay or something? Because that's what it seemed like. I ain't, no lie. He just gave me metrosexual tease, or, he could be bisexual. He gave me one of those, you know what I'm saying? But either way, he should be ashamed of himself. She got stuck to the bed. Okay, she got stuck to the bed trying to get off, and he had to help her off. But mind you, when they was doing all this stuff, she's hearing something. They hearing like something on the intercom or whatever, like a voice that they thought was an intercom that was like, you're gonna die up in this house. You're not leaving this house or whatever. And so at this point, when they was getting ready to go, you see something else walk past, okay? I said, listen, I'm scary to a certain extent. Like, I can sit there and I can watch horror movies and stuff like that and be cool, okay? Because most of that stuff, it don't faze me or whatever. Like, when I was a kid, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, baby, I used to have nightmares after that because, just because of the way he looked. That's what it was, But other than that, nothing else, especially as an adult, nothing else fazes me. But if I go to a haunted house and I had people actually coming at me, and I know it's fake, but you coming at me and you doing that jump scare shit, it's gonna scare me. I ain't even gonna lie. So I'm not doing that, okay? Why would you willingly put yourself in this situation, especially something like this? I said, see, ain't nobody got time for this, all right? And so, of course, they go out looking, and they see the nurse down at the end of the steps. They stumble upon her. Of course, they're giving the history. Yeah, I know. I've been to the convention. I know this too and all this or whatever. Next thing you know, they go down to the basement because they're hearing stuff as well. And there was like, is this the part where we sign the NDAs and stuff like that, and we're not responsible for what happens and stuff like that. And so, just being smart, thinking that this is still just a game. I hope this is, either way, if I'm in the middle, I think I am now, and so they get down in that basement. I was like, why would you go down in the basement of all places? Okay, who does that in a big ass house that you don't know nothing about, and you gonna go down into the basement, bitch? No, we don't do that. They hear some people up in there, some girls, they're crying and trying to beg for help and get them out. They're like locked up behind these bars in the basement. I said, what is going on? And as soon as I saw that, I would turn right back around. Okay, I didn't made it this far. That would have sent me over the edge. Why is the little white girls and stuff up in there? Let me get my black ass up out of here. Okay, I just don't want to be held responsible for anything. All right, let me go. Girl, get your shit, let's go. Okay. But they was like, who is them? They weren't part of the show or whatever, but what season were they in? And so at this point they realized, the girls are telling their stories. They've been there for 10 years, and they came over for Halloween when Ben was there, the therapist, the original, in season 1. And they was trick-or-treating and whatever. He wouldn't let them in, but the door stayed open, and they came in and wound up getting killed by the pig man and I think Rubber Man, And so at this point, they was trying to tell me, y'all need to get up out of here because this ain't the place to be. Next thing you know, Pig Man and Rubber Man come up out there and kill their asses all over again. And that's what happens when they're in the murder house. They be killing each other all over again, and they like die, come back, die, come back, die, come back. That's all that they got to do there, okay? And so, oh boy, he gets cut. They crying and screaming and trying to get out. They run upstairs, and oh boy wind up getting shot in the head. By who? The little girl that was with Jessica Lange in the first season of Murder House, okay? She was like, I told y'all to get up out of here or whatever. I said, it was so good to see her. That's my G. I love her. She makes me smile every time I see her on the screen. I was like, that's what's up. That's what's up. I love the fact that Ryan Murphy is damn near like the Black Tyler Perry in the sense that he recycled his actors. And I love that. I really do love that. Or I should say he brings them back for multiple shows. He never forgets about them. Shout out to Angelica Ross because she's in the new season 2 as well. Come on, Candy. But anyway, so, old girl is there by herself. She trying to run up the steps, and then here come Twisty the Clown. Okay, he knocks her out and kills her. And then, you saw her body kind of glitch. I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Why is it looking like WandaVision up in this bitch? Okay, what's going on? Because it is a video game that is happening. We get into this boy who is, playing a game, and he wanted to make a video game concerning and being based off of American Horror Story Murder House, okay? And his mom is the one who was doing it, and he's upset at the glitches and stuff. This is stopping me from doing this. I could have saved her, but she glitched and all this, so woo, woo, woo. And so at this point, the mom is like, what? She's so eager to please him. And he gets an attitude, and, she was like, I'm just doing this to try to, get to know you and get to be with you. Basically, she dropped everything that she was doing. She quit her job. She mortgaged the house. She did all this other stuff just to make this video games to get close to her son. He said, bitch, we could have just sat there and watched TV with it. We could have watched the episode. You trying to get to know me, just watch the episode with me. That's how you could have did it. I didn't ask you to do all this, but now that you're doing all this, girl, get the shit right. That's basically what he's on, And so at that point, it was just like, this is weird. So it just made me feel like she has like OCD, or she could be a little manic. You know what I'm saying? Like she get hyper focused on something, and once she gets focused on it, she can't stop it. And you kind of see sprinklings of that or alluding to that later on in the episode. So he decides that he want to go to his daddy's house. She goes and she watches, I guess, all of the seasons of American Horror Story. Then she takes it upon herself to go down there to Murder House and to put in an offer for it. Okay, the realtor was like, this is a messed up place. They want to, sell it for $600,000, but they ain't never going to get that. She said, I'll give you $100,000. He was like, sure. Okay. So, and at this point, she go over there to the boy's father's house. It's Halloween. And she was like, listen, I'm finna go to this horror convention. I'll be back in a week. Mind you, the boy told her, I'm finna go over to Eddie's house. I'll see you later. Matter of fact, I'll probably be over there for a couple of weeks. I said, hold up. This how y'all talk to y'all parents? I said, these kids doing a little much, okay? They doing a little much. Too much of this, and not enough of that, okay? But pop them lips. So, she trying to tell him what's up. The dad is just like, you doing too much, okay? Just had to tell her about herself. Even the son kind of agreed, but the son told her, listen, I do love you, I do care about you, and I understand what you're trying to do, but you don't need to do all this, but just take care of yourself. And so she goes over there to Murder House, and she see all the spirits coming out. These are the characters that we've been seeing like in episode 1 and 2 of this show, and then the regular show, you know what I'm saying? And she's thinking that these people are dressed up as Superfans, okay? We see Ruby. She's out there waiting for Scarlett. Scarlett shows up. I said, bitch, how desperate do you got to be to have a girlfriend or somebody that's a ghost? That's just like that girl. It is a woman out here who said she is married to Michael Jackson ghost. This is a recent report, okay? Like, go look it up. She is married to Michael Jackson's ghost, and Martin Luther King Jr. officiated the marriage. Ma'am, get help, okay? So she go up in there, and when she sees Scarlett and Ruby go up in there, she was like, what y'all doing? Excuse me, her name is Shell. There you go. That's it, jogged my memory. And then that's my mama name too. She was like, I'm the new owner, Michelle. What's going on? So she going around the house trying to see where everybody went. And so at this point, she goes into like one of the little living rooms or whatever, and you see or you hear somebody crying. It's Ben, the therapist or whatever. And he's gonna say something. I'm sorry, usually I don't cry like this until after I masturbate. I said, sir, he's such a whore, okay? That's basically what he is. But they get into this conversation. She basically wanted to get the house so that she can feel the vibe of the house, fill it out, get the stories and everything so that she can make the video game better, And so she's up there having a conversation with him and trying to get a feel of how it is being up in the house. And she was like, it must be fun or whatever. And he was like, no, okay, it's not, it's dull. People don't know what else to do. Okay, it's miserable. And she was like, her son said, maybe the reason why the souls haven't been able to escape is because they don't realize their purpose as being rectified their purpose when they were alive, okay? And Ben was like, no, because there's some people that already figured that out or whatever, and they still here. Like, he tried to help Tate with that, and he's still worse than ever, And so at this point, they're just having a conversation, and we see Ruby and Scarlett up in the tub or whatever talking. Of course, it's always with them. How would you feel if you were still alive, or you could go out and be outside this house? Where would you go? She was like, I'll be anywhere you are. They're all on this lovey-dovey tip. And of course, it's like an overdrive because they only get to see each other in the physical like this once a year. Okay, because on Halloween, the spirits are allowed out the house, and they're in the human form. And so they're talking about all of this and how much they love each other and they want to be with each other and stuff like that, woo woo woo, and they're going to be each other forever. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Eventually, when it was time for them to get up out that house, girl, I forgot what happened, but some shit went down, okay? Them spirits came back up in there and they told Michelle, you better get the hell up out of there. Girl, next thing you know, she wound up getting killed. She wound up getting killed up in the house, okay? Girl, they started slicing up everybody up in that damn bitch. And I was just like, Michelle, this is Like the son said, all you had to do was watch the show with me. You didn't have to go on this impulse buy and go get the house and try to fill out a vibe or whatever because you don't think it's real. You just think it's part of the show. And come to find out it's technically real in the show that we're watching. And now you fell victim because once you go in, you don't really come out. The only person that we actually seen come out of the house is the realtor. And that's even if the realtor is really a real person, because he's the only one that's been going in and out and never got attacked or anything like that. You know, Michelle, you came up in there being nosy as hell and you wind up getting stabbed up, okay, and they took your ass and just ripped you apart. Girl, Scarlett and Ruby did that shit. I said, y'all are crazy, okay? And so I guess it's the following year. So after that, she sees her son on the street and he's not in his Halloween clothes as he was when she went to the father's house the last Halloween. He was dressed up as like Dracula or something, a vampire. And now she was like, why you don't like Halloween? Because of you. Because of you. I don't do that shit no more. He was like, I knew that you was doing that. I knew that you did what you did. As soon as I heard you did the horror convention and we couldn't get in contact with you after a couple of days, I knew that you went up there. Oh, because the realtor had called there. You know, because she said, listen, I just came up in here. She told Ben, I came up here to get the vibe. I ain't really had no money for this house. I'm not even going to close on it or whatever because she ain't got the money. She just going to leave it, okay? You know, so she was just getting a way to get into the house. That's why she put an offer down that she really didn't have just to get inside to feel this vibe or whatever. And so the son cussed her out, okay? He was like, you do too damn much. And because of that, now you're no longer here, okay? And you didn't ruin a whole bunch of stuff and you didn't have to go this far. You didn't have to go this far. The realtor had called looking for you, and that's how we realized that you were no longer here, okay? And so, you know, they get into a conversation, and, you know, it was like souls are trapped up in the house, and how do we get rid of them? It was like if, you know, what I originally suggest don't work, we just probably need to burn that bitch down, okay? And let them go to where they want to go. And she was like, if that happens, that means that I'm going to be gone too. What you expect? Ain't nobody tell your ass to go over there. Okay? So, you know, he gets a little attitude, rolls off. She go back into the house and you got Scarlett over there with Ruby and this their last 10 seconds and all that stuff. And, you know, I do think they did get into a discussion about what would happen if, you know, about some of the souls. You know, some of them wants to be there, some of them, and most of them want to go. They just want to let go. Ruby is one of the ones that truly wants to stay there, okay? And so at this point, while they're in there having a little discussion, Ruby hears something going on outside. And Scarlett had just left. She trying to go get her little breakfast in the morning, and she get a text from Ruby saying help because Michelle's son is out there with the gas tanks, just, you know, throwing gas everywhere. I said, wait a minute, in broad daylight. I said, ain't nobody gonna stop him and be like, hey, call the cops because he's out here about to commit arson. No, they just let him do it, okay? They was like, that house gotta go. That house gotta go. And so you got Ben and them, they was like, go ahead and let them do it. Go ahead and let them do it. Ruby, on the other hand, is like, no. So the rest of the other ghosts or whatever, spirits, they tried to stop her. They held her up, stabbed her up, killed her. He sliced her throat. But you know, they're spirits, so they're gonna come back, you know. So that's why she sent that text to Scarlett to make her hurry up and come and stop him. And the boy made me so mad. The boy made me so mad because when I said, if you gonna do all this, don't get one of them matches that you gotta strike and all this stuff outside where it's probably windy, okay? No, get a lighter or whatever, light that bitch and throw it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. But Scarlett came up in there and she was like, no, please don't, you know? And so he lit the match and it, you know? And so Ruby was like, Scarlett, come with me, be here for me forever, and all this stuff. And Scarlett stood there like, no ma'am, I want my freedom. I want to roam around, okay? You know? And so at this point, the house burnt down and it was all over the news, and you know, it is what it is. They're like, okay, them souls are gone. Then it goes to like Ooh, is my hair coming up? Okay, it's still intact. Then it goes to like 3 years later. Okay. Everybody was ready. It was just so crazy. I'm pretty sure all them spirits been ready to go. Okay, they was like, go ahead, burn this shit down, because they was tired of it. They just wanted to be put out their misery. And so at this point, it was 3 years later. We see Scarlett going up to the same realtor, and she's looking at this place. It's a condominium complex, and she's getting the last condominium, and it's like $1 million that she's paying outright for. She said, listen, bruh, it's the same realtor, if I didn't mention that earlier. She said, we're gonna have to be honest with each other. Did you tell people that are already here that this is the place where Murder House was, and this hollow ground, and that all these spirits used to be on there? He was like, I mean, I didn't tell them that or whatever, but the people that's been here for the past 6 months, they've been cool. I've been checking up on them or whatever, so all them spirits and occult shit, they gone or whatever. And so, she said, I want to pay for it outright, $1 million. He said, where you get the money from? You so young. I said, mind your business. She said, because I was assassin. I mean, we trying to be real, right? So she gets settled into the apartment, into the condo. She opens up her little toolkits of knives and scissors and stuff like that. She gets up in the tub. She's talking about, asking Ruby if she's still there. I'm ready to go with you, but it's too late. If you hear, come back. Girl, she get in the bed. Next thing you know, she feels something and she jumps. She turns around. It's Ruby in the rubber man suit. I said, what is this? Now, truth be told, Ruby, you better than me, okay? Because I would have killed her, okay? I would have took her out and I would have tortured her for the rest of her life, because I would have felt slighted as hell that you decided to leave me when I wanted you to stay. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even give it a second thought. You said, deuces. Y'all gonna burn to the ground. That's what you did, okay? But they so lesbian, it don't make no sense, okay? I was like, oh my God, look at all this lesbianism. It is agenda. No, let me stop. But so that's how it ended with them. Come to find out, this all part of a video game. I said, are you serious? So I'm thinking all this stuff really happened. So basically what wound up happening is Michelle went back and fixed those glitches and made it better after she finished watching Murder House. And, the son approved or whatever. So they go out and have some food. And they was like, what happened to them souls and all this stuff? What would you think happened to them? And it was like, I don't know. They probably just gone off, maybe to heaven, maybe to hell. Who knows? Next thing you know, they leave out the house and we see that red ball come rolling up underneath the table. I said, Lord, it's in the house. I said, so what's real and what's fake at this point? I don't even know. But that was American Horror Stories. Game over. If I missed something, put it down in the comments, and I will see y'all later. Peace.